Hey, salut tout le monde, c'est Damoclès, j'espère que vous allez bien. On se retrouve aujourd'hui pour un nouvel épisode de Genshin Impact. Avec les habits, je suis à 6000 primo. Oh putain, il est bien. Le mec, il nous enlève les habits juste pour péter la gueule à des gens gratos. C'est ça, en fait, les gens. Vous avez pas l'impression que... Ouais, j'ai 5 pierres de la fatalité, mais bizarrement, j'ai pas beaucoup de primogèmes. Bah oui, j'ai fait les abysses, mais j'ai pas récupéré les piliers. Alors, les piliers, t'en as ici. Dans la colline de Ganda, au niveau de la tente, t'en as ici, au niveau de cette grotte-là. Oui, en fait, les gens, j'ai pété la gueule au mec de l'abysse. Mais j'ai pas récupéré mes récompenses, putain. En même temps, ils te les donnent pas automatiquement. Putain. Aïe, aïe, aïe. Ces attaques sont liées avec un clavier, Anaïda. Ah bon? Si tu regardes ces attaques normales, c'est des touches de clavier. Oh, énorme. Alors, non, je veux pas continuer. Fermé. Ah. Ah, d'accord, je suis obligé de continuer, en fait. Du coup, non, on va abandonner. On va récupérer la récompense. Ah, bizarrement, c'est quand même... Par contre, ça me fait chier, ça me trouve le cul pour cette salle-là, il ne manque rien. Il ne manque rien. Putain. En vrai, j'ai la retenter en off. Bon, ok, les gens, je vais retenter de mon côté. En fait, non, ils sont trop puissants. Je pense qu'à mon avis, il y aura moyen de faire les mobs de fontaine, sûrement avec une meilleure équipe qui va optimiser, parce que là, clairement, pour les tâches 3, Yelan et Xingqiu servent absolument à rien. Peut-être mettre éventuellement un électro, je sais pas, faudra voir. Je pense que déjà avec la niveau 90 d'Utah, on pourra mieux s'en sortir. Voilà. Mais en vrai, je suis en train de penser à un truc. Non, j'ai pas encore de quoi la faire. Mais bon, on a quand même gagné quelques primogèmes, donc on va en profiter cette fois pour s'acheter quelques trucs. Là au moins, déjà, voilà, je préfère déjà ça. Voilà. Du coup là, on a 8 primogèmes, voilà, c'est ce que j'ai calculé. Donc 8 primogèmes plus 3 de pity, on est à 11 et on sera à 12 de pity. Par contre, on va finir l'intro parce que c'est vrai que j'avais toujours pas fini. Donc évidemment, je rappelle que cet épisode est enregistré sur Twitch comme d'habitude. Donc n'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre évidemment grâce au lien en description ainsi que sur le serveur Discord. Et bien sûr, si ça s'il vous plaît, n'hésitez pas à liker, partager un commentaire, à vous abonner. Et bien sûr, activer la cloche pour manquer des nouvelles notifs. Sur ce, bon, on a récupéré la récompense des abysses. Ah, c'est dommage parce que là, sans primogème, j'aurais pas dit non. Mais bon, je pense qu'en vrai, ça part dans 40 jours, enfin dans 35 jours, il y a le temps. Il y a le temps de se faire et de pouvoir les vendre.
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh? Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... Well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Il y a un parfum très frais.
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay this time, Tainari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious?
Ce que j'ai vu n'était pas des hallucinations, pas vrai?
That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all, though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance, not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Teyvat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was a part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you.
Alors ce que j'ai vu c'était quoi?
When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsul itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her, and she'll answer any questions you may have.
Merci.
No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Peut-être on va en prendre un peu plus d'ailleurs sur ce verrou. On avait dit que du coup ces attaques à Naïda c'était des touches de clavier. Alors moi j'ai pas de truc particulier par contre. Est-ce que c'est pas seulement pour les gens PC par hasard? En vrai ça ressemble à des touches de clavier mais par contre on voit pas c'est quelle touche en particulier. Mais c'est vrai que ça avait pensé à des touches de clavier maintenant que vous l'avez dit. Ouais ça ouais. En vrai c'est pas mal. J'aime bien ce moveset Anaïda en vrai il est marrant. Et du coup, ah bah on doit retourner à la caverne donc on était au début du jeu. Enfin, au début de la zone. Allez secourir à Paisa. Ah il va dire plutôt. Et là elle est morte. En tout cas elle est pas là. C'était quoi ce bruit? Provient de la grotte. C'est un aranara à tous les coups. Ah non. C'est Hypatia. Qu'est-ce qu'elle est là? Ah bah non, j'en doutais bien. Qu'est-ce qu'il va vouloir faire là, Nara?
There you are. Hypatia, are you all right?
So hungry. Need water.
Elle est affamée.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden? Anyway, let's go look around.
Alors soit c'est la Ranara qui a fait ça. Ouais d'accord, au début j'allais dire c'est peut-être de la corruption mais non. Traverser la brume.
Huh? How things out here end up looking like this?
What the fuck?
What happened? And where are we?
Garde ton calme, Paimon. Il doit sûrement y avoir une raison à cela.
Really? Oh, maybe you're right. Let's go investigate the area.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? Ah c'est un donjon. D'accord. Continue de traverser le creux d'arbre. C'est super joli en tout cas. On n'est plus à Sumeru là. Enfin on est dans un... On est dans un donjon, d'accord. Alors est-ce que c'est dû à la Ranara ou est-ce que c'est quelque chose...
This place is huge.
Ah c'est immense hein.
Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Petit coffre. Rebond pignon dans les donjons. Vous trouvez parfois des rebonds pignons de style dans les donjons de Sumeru. Raison pour lesquels ces pignons ne font pas partie des créatures. Ok. Là, on peut rien faire par rapport à ça.
Take it easy.
Il devait bien avoir un truc à faire avec ça, non? C'est juste de la déco. D'accord, ok, très bien. Mais je trouve qu'en tout cas, Sumeru sera quand même plus agréable à explorer que les autres régions parce que déjà, c'est pas comparé. Enfin, c'est un continent en fait. Donc en gros, on n'a pas d'étendue d'eau à traverser ni rien. Enfin, pas trop en tout cas. Par contre, ça a l'air d'être un vrai labyrinthe ce donjon. Ouais, d'accord, mais c'est. Mais les donjons ils sont grands par contre, ça me fume. Oh.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha. Really? Gutsy.
Solidify. This is order.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Gather.
Busted.
Alors casse ça gueule là. Merci.
Take it easy.
Oh. Ok. Où est-ce que ça m'emmène? Ah bah, je crois que c'était un raccourci. Résine primordiale et les donjons. Vous trouvez parfois la résine primordiale, les chemins qu'elle sert à les donjons de Sumeru. Vous récupérez 3 résines primordiales dans un donjon pour déverrouiller le chemin correspondant. D'accord, ok. Alors par contre... Ok, mais je sais pas où on va traverser. Ah, tout simplement. Ok, donc en fait, ouais, c'est un vrai donjon. Faut trouver différents accès et tout. Putain, il y a des donjons à la Zelda, la moitié. Enfin... Ah, et du coup, ok. En fait, du coup, ouais, en fait, j'avais commencé à explorer ce qu'il fallait faire plus tard. What the fuck? Pardon? Pourquoi on se retrouve à Inazuma? Oh, c'est trop bizarre par contre comme nom.
What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Bon, il y a des coffres en tout cas, je récupère, mais c'est bizarre. Waouh, ouais, c'est bizarre. Ouais, d'accord, ok, pourquoi pas. C'est un peu what the fuck, mais pourquoi pas. Par contre, ça me filme qu'ils aient mis des champignons de trampoline dans un endroit comme ça, quoi. Ok, là, il y a la dernière. Nickel. Et du coup, on peut accéder
Take it easy.
à la nouvelle salle. Et on se retrouve téléporté dans un autre endroit. Il y ouais cette fois, j'imagine. Non, toujours... Ouais, bah, pourquoi pas.
What in Teyvat is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
C'est un donjon qu'on avait déjà exploré, ça, en plus. Ouais. Ah, ok. Nickel. Waouh, ah, c'est trop... Waouh. Ah, c'est chelou. Ah oui, c'est... Putain. Alors, j'aime bien, mais c'est bizarre. Hein. Et j'aime beaucoup, par contre. Par contre, il nous explique pourquoi ça fait ça, ou... Je sais pas. Je pense que ça m'a été une épreuve, un truc comme ça. À la recherche silencieuse de connaissances. Waouh, non, on se retrouve encore dans une nouvelle salle. C'est trop classe par contre. Alors, qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est une illusion, c'est pas un vrai, je pense.
The Abyss Herald! What are you planning to do in this strange place?
Strange place. Plotting. You needn't worry about such things. They don't concern you.
Ah non, non, c'est un vrai. C'est eux qui sont liés à ce qui arrive à Lumine en vrai. Ce serait même pas étonnant.
Stabilize. I will have order.
Inazuma shines eternal. Shine down.
Solidified.
Commit it to memory. Sharing my knowledge.
Gotcha. Illusion shattered.
This is order.
Quand se protéger longtemps, ouais, d'accord, c'était scripté.
Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. We faced others like him before. What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are.
Je vais retrouver ma sœur.
Your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler. Are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial? Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
Ouais, c'était un rêve, c'est sûr. Étrange. Qu'est-ce qui vient de se passer? J'ai l'impression d'avoir soudainement fait un rêve. Mais je me souviens plus de ce dont j'ai rêvé.
What do we do? We haven't seen Hypatia anywhere out here. Oh, there she is! Quick!
C'est trop bizarre hein, ce qui se passait.
So sweet.
Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that?
J'ai dû avoir un moment d'égarement.
Are you okay? That's really not like you. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
J'ai de l'eau et du jus de fruits à Hypatia, puis vous attendez un moment.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you?
Là, ça se dit même pas Tinari, ça se dit Tainari.
Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked us to give you.
Les lettres de Tainari à Hypatia.
I see.
J'ai cru que j'avais planté.
So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived.
C'est le petit aranara que tu as apporté.
Kinda wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Ce voisin, est-ce que c'est un petit bonhomme tout rond?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
C'est un Kogu. Racontez ce qui vous arrivait quand vous êtes entré dans la grotte avec Paimon et Aether.
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Ermin's soul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh, and then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me.
Ces petits êtres sont vraiment intéressants.
Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tighnari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Ermin's soul. Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's getting hungry too. Let's eat first and talk about Ermin's soul later. Alright, we're up, Traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a radish veggie soup. You'll love them, Hypatia. They're our specialties after all.
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tighnari came to visit.
On va manger au feu de camp. On va faire ça. Les 17 empires, mais on n'a rien à y faire de particulier. Donc sinon, on vous a rendu feu de camp.
All done. Let's use the empty box that Tighnari gave us since we already watched it. Oh, it smells amazing. And the box is a nice touch too. Let's go serve this up and start eating with Hypatia.
Nickel. Par contre, là, il y a un truc à récupérer, je vais voir ce que c'est. Donc, il y avait juste une carotte. La carotte sacrée.
Are you already finished cooking? Mmm, smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte.
Vous partagez cette lecture avec Baïza. Ensuite, vous lui racontez comment vous êtes entré en
Even though
contact avec la
everything
Lumine
you
Soul.
mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn eel for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spent their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spiritborn eel primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth.
Je crois avoir compris.
Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though, it appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spiritborn ale should no longer trigger such reactions.
Whew. Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa. You're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Sept Archons at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa. So knowledge from Irminsul could be super dangerous. Don't you ever feel afraid of the risk, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Ah bon?
Oh. Is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical.
Je commence à me souvenir un peu du rêve que j'ai fait. Et effectivement, c'était un rêve sans queue ni tête.
Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like I was a child again. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made it out to be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Irminsul?
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life, I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me.
Je te souhaite de réussir ton parcours spirituel.
There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Continue discuter avec Hypatia puis passer la nuit dans la grotte.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Ouais, c'est intéressant quand même ce qu'il raconte. Hein. Et je pense que oui, on aura sûrement des facultés. D'ailleurs, je crois que...
I see everything.
Ouais, c'est trop bien, c'est Naïda, elle peut lire les pensées des habitants de Sumeru.
Everyone hold hands.
Ça, c'est trop bien. Je crois qu'elle peut lire les pensées de tous les habitants, je crois. Hein. Il me semble.
I see everything.
I've had enough of this sopping wet place.
The Avidia Forest truly has great biodiversity. I won't have to worry about finding new research topics for the rest of my life.
C'est trop marrant ça. Et du coup, on va pouvoir aller continuer la quête.
Everyone hold hands.
I'll patrol around here today.
C'est trop bien. J'adore.
Looks like reselling mushrooms isn't so easy either.
I see everything. Everyone hold hands.
Some people might enjoy the sun, but I prefer humidity.
Le chien, il pense à un truc, le chien, non?
As long as I get to eat meat every meal, I'm happy.
What's the color of the Sumeru rose again?
C'est trop marrant.
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Ghulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the Academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
La ville de Sumeru, elle est à côté, hein. Là, on voit en arrière-fond.
I see. Well, I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
And, how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that, despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tainari, but you...
So be it. Come, Ghulam, we're leaving.
Tainari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the Academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions for us, too.
Very good. Now that the Traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
That's right! We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Et là, vous allez pas pouvoir.
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have
Ah,
any
non.
advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
À Sumeru, déjà, on verra Nilo, je pense.
Let me
La ville de
think.
Sumeru.
My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are researchers. Oh, how about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him might prove worthwhile. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this item is the very basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! But wait, before that...
Il faut qu'on aille dire au revoir à Collei.
That's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave. Is she doing better now?
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go!
Farewell, and good luck to you both.
Bon, on ira faire ça demain en tout cas. On ira faire ça demain. Et du coup, prochaine étape, ouais, on va à la ville de Sumeru qui est... Bon, la ville de Sumeru, elle est littéralement à côté, ça qui me fume en fait. C'est vraiment là, on a passé toute une partie de la quête. Est-ce qu'on va passer à l'acte 2 en arrivant ici? Je sais pas. Pareil, l'arbre, je sais pas du tout où il est, l'arbre. Je pense que l'arbre, c'est pas du tout... Mais il y a beaucoup d'objets par contre, hein. Il y a un resto. Il y a ça, sanctuaire. Mais ça, on avait déjà exploré un peu la ville de Sumeru. On a déjà vu un peu les temples et tout. Bah écoutez, en tout cas, j'espère que cet épisode vous aura plu. Si c'est le cas, n'hésitez pas à liker, partager, à commenter, à vous abonner à la chaîne. N'hésitez pas non plus à nous rejoindre sur Twitch pour ne manquer des nouveaux lives, évidemment. Ouais, n'hésitez pas aussi à venir sur le serveur Discord grâce au lien en description. Et puis, on se retrouvera demain, évidemment, pour la suite de l'aventure Genshin Impact. Et je vais juste voir un truc. D'accord, quand c'est des persos principaux, ils ont pas de pensée particulière. Bah écoutez, on va s'arrêter en tout cas sur le fond de la ville de Sumeru, qui est quand même une petite trotte en vrai. Hein. On dirait que c'est pas très loin, mais c'est quand même un petit bout. Hein. Ça, quand on compare à Mondstadt, c'est quand même vachement grand la forêt. Bah, la forêt de Sumeru fait la taille de Mondstadt, j'ai l'impression. Hein. Ouais, ça fait vraiment la taille de Mondstadt. Un petit peu plus même. Donc on verra ça en tout cas dans le live de demain et j'ai hâte d'y être. En tout cas, je vous retiens pas plus longtemps et je vous dis à bientôt YouTube pour le prochain épisode. C'était à vous classer. Salut, salut.